to be speaking to Andrew Morphew about his experience of a gap year, which he basically did as a part of when he was studying his BCom at Rhodes University. Andrew, tell us a little bit about the decision. What made you decide to go overseas while you were studying?
Joe, I think it was a desire to travel and get out there, and I'm a big believer in kind of expanding your horizons and stretching yourself, and I felt I wanted to do something different. Ski seasons I'd heard about, and they sounded awesome. So I think I just wanted to have a bit of fun, try and earn a bit of money and pay my way, and get away from the folks for a while, have a bit of freedom.
Yeah. And how did you work that with your studies?
The first ski season I did during my studies, so I went over a Christmas break. Went for about 2.5 months, I think, which made it a little bit harder to get jobs, but it worked out incredibly well at the end of the day. The second one I did immediately after my degree, and that meant I could go for a full season, and it meant a whole lot more fun.
Absolutely. And can you tell us a little bit about the experience itself?
Well, I mean, ski season is obviously something which is pretty different to most South Africans, so it was a completely different place. You interact with a huge number of different cultures. You got people from South America, Australia, the UK, so there's an amazing international community which gathers. Exactly, and a lot of good fun. You get to know people that you kind of remain friends with for the rest of your life. So from that perspective, it is great. But it also just means that you've got to fend for yourself for a while, find a job, buckle down to hours, and kind of try and balance the work and play.
Quite tricky when you're a student, eh?
Quite tricky when you're a student, yeah. You learn to clean up and disguise the hangover quite well in the morning.
I love the way that you incorporated it into your studies, because it's quite different for some students who don't really want to devote an entire year to taking a gap year. It's a nice way of maximizing your holidays and making the most of that. What were the difficulties? What were the challenges?
I think getting visas and getting jobs and those kinds of things. In my first season we went over without jobs, and I think there were 8 of us sleeping in a 1-bedroom motel room.
Wow.
We littered all over the floor, and it took us a little while to get jobs. So I'd encourage anyone going over to try and kind of source a job before you go. But at the end of the day, I mean, it all adds to the experience. It's character building, and there's nothing I regret about the situation at all.
And what have employers said when they've seen this on your CV? Have they had any comments about you having done this?
Yeah, I think employers like to see things like that in your CV. It means that you're a bit more gregarious, outgoing, that you're willing to take risks, and that you're able to kind of look after yourself. Being fresh out of university or school, you're obviously lacking experience, so life experience is a big one, and it gives you a talking point. I don't think I've been through a single interview where I haven't been asked about my ski season, and it's refreshing. It's a nice thing to talk about, and a huge positive in my opinion.
And I think you mentioned before that there are organizations such as...
I went through a company called CCUSA, and they organized my visa. There are also a number of different other options. Get hold of prospective employers, and often the ski resorts can offer you H2B visas, which means you don't actually have to pay for them. But yeah, there are a number of different ways of skinning a cat, so just explore your options and see what you can do.
And what did it mean financially, Andrew? Did you make money out of the experience? Did it just cover itself?
I don't think anyone comes back with bucket loads of cash, but no, you can pay for the experience. It means you cover your flights, and you can afford to have quite a lot of fun. I mean, after my second season, we spent 1.5 months traveling around the States, road tripping and doing places like San Francisco, LA, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, New York. So you get to see a lot of the world that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see.
And I hear you're quite a mean skier.
I actually boarded for my first 2 seasons and have since decided to ski, but yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I don't think I'm the most graceful skier, but
good experience.
It's good, yeah.
Thanks so much, Andy.